Hello everyone, this is Altar, and this segment is here to let you know that after about a year of producing content for Offworld Trading Company, Mohawk Games contracted me out to do some QA consulting work for them. This video was made during the time that contract was active. Thank you for listening, please enjoy the video. Hello everyone, this is Altar, and welcome to our 5th Offworld Trading Company tutorial, the Midgame. This is going to be the first of 4 interconnected tutorials, with the next 3 focusing on advanced buildings, the black market, and the stock market. These 3 game concepts are very important in the mid-game of OTC, but we're going to start with a basic overview of what you as a player can do in the mid-game. The mid-game is the most complicated and action-filled portion of OTC. This is where winners and losers are typically decided, and often when players will start being eliminated. This is also when you will decide what specializations your corporation will use to try and achieve its monopoly, and it's when you'll have the best chance to disrupt your opponent's operations. This is arguably the most important period of the game, as almost all players can easily learn what to do in the fairly limited early and late stages of an Offworld Trading Company game, but the mid-game plays out differently almost every time, so this is where your skill will truly be tested. Specifically though, what is it you do in the mid-game? Well, your goals are the same as always in an OTC match: grow yourself and slow down your competition. This period of the game is when you'll need to be attentive to what is happening around the map. What markets are your opponents in? What resources look valuable right now? What resources will likely be valuable in 2 minutes? In 5? Are your opponents hoarding cash for a quick kill on a weak player, or focusing on developing their own territory and production? What patents are players taking? What patents are they going to want next? Who controls what resources? Who's in the lead? Who's lagging behind? These are all questions you need to be asking yourself constantly in the middle of an off-world match. Perhaps fuel and oxygen are expensive now, so you want to build reactors. But 2 of your opponents are already building reactors. Do you build farms instead, expecting food to be on the rise? Do you build reactors anyway, and try to use the black market to keep your opponent in check? Perhaps you expect other players to move into farms, and you decide to build glass furnaces to avoid the water market entirely, and try to cash in on the glass other players are buying up. All these could be reasonable options, depending on the prices of water, food, oxygen, fuel, silicon, and glass, and what is available on the black market. The mid-game is so difficult in Offworld because there is no strict guide that says do X, then Y, then Z. All you can do is, as a player, be attentive to the map and keep asking yourself those important questions. An important thing to understand here is there's no simple rock, paper, scissors interaction in Offworld Trading Company. There are no spearmen to simply take out the horsemen that have been mowing down your infantry. Patent labs don't just beat optimization centers. Chemical labs aren't just better than electronics factories. That said, each building does have specific rules that it will follow, and simple interactions that result from these rules. Reactors consume water to make fuel and oxygen. This means that demand on water increases, while supply of fuel and oxygen increases. In turn, this makes chemicals and glass cheaper to produce. Then, if a player takes advantage of easy-to-produce chemicals, the patent lab and optimization center become cheaper to use. Each individual interaction is simple, but the full picture becomes complicated very quickly, so you must always keep an eye on your opponents so that you know what lines they're taking and where those paths could soon lead. I may be painting all of this as a bit overwhelming at the moment, but we can simplify things a bit for new players. As for what you can do, focus on finding a valuable resource that your opponents aren't heavily producing. A handful of other buildings won't cut into your profits heavily in the short term, but if literally everyone else in the game has a triangle of farms down, it's likely best you avoid trying to turn a profit with food. Conversely, if you see everyone else in chemicals and no one with reactors, you can easily build a few reactors yourself to benefit from the increased demand on fuel. Focus on these simple opportunities when you're new to the game, and you'll find yourself quickly and naturally learning the deeper interactions in the game. Of course, you should also continue to focus on upgrading your headquarters to allow for even more production. The 3 other things you'll need to do throughout the mid-game are select some advanced buildings to build, acquire aggressive tools on the black market, and make purchases at the stock market. These mechanics are each worthy of their own tutorial, and we'll be starting the trio with a discussion about advanced buildings. But for now, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.